Section 3, Deed Recording Process, protecting Arizona from deed fraud, from paper to public record, where ownership becomes official. If Section 2 taught you what makes a deed valid, Section 3 shows you where that deed becomes powerful. A deed sitting on a desk means very little. A deed that has been recorded becomes part of the public record, and that is where ownership is recognized, protected, and sometimes exploited. The recording process is where real estate transitions from a private agreement to a public fact. It is also where many fraud schemes are completed, because once a fraudulent deed is recorded, it can appear legitimate to anyone reviewing the records. Step 1. Completing the required documents. Every recording begins with proper documentation, and this is where accuracy matters most. The primary document is the deed itself, which must include the full legal names of the grantor and grantee, a complete legal property description, and the grantor's notarized signature. In addition to the deed, Arizona typically requires an affidavit of property value, which discloses the sales price or value of the property. Depending on the transaction, additional forms such as tax forms or exemption documents may also be required. Real-world example: if a property sells for $250,000, that value must be disclosed in the affidavit. If that number is manipulated or falsified, it can be a red flag for fraud or misrepresentation. Key insight: incomplete or inconsistent paperwork is often the first sign that something is wrong. Step 2. Submission to the county recorder. Once documents are complete, they are submitted to the county recorder's office in the county where the property is located. This submission can be done in person, by mail, or electronically, depending on the county. The recorder's office serves as the official gatekeeper of public property records. Their role is not to verify the truth of the transaction, but to ensure the documents meet basic recording requirements such as completeness, signatures, and notarization. This is a critical point. The recorder is not investigating fraud. They are processing documents. That means fraudulent documents can still be recorded if they appear complete on their face. Step 3. Review and acceptance. After submission, the recorder's office performs a review for completeness and compliance. They check that all required fields are filled, signatures are present, notarization is valid, and required forms are included. If everything appears correct, the deed is accepted and moved forward in the process. If something is missing or incorrect, the documents may be rejected and returned for correction. This step is procedural, not investigative. Fraud can pass through this stage if it looks legitimate. Step 4. Recording the deed. Once accepted, the deed is officially recorded and becomes part of the public record. The recorder assigns a recording number and date, which establishes the official timeline of ownership. This moment is powerful because it creates legal recognition of the transfer and provides public notice to anyone searching the records. In fraud cases, this is the turning point. Once a fraudulent deed is recorded, the fraudster now appears, on paper, to be the legal owner. Step 5. Recording fees. Recording is not free, and fees vary depending on the county and the document. Fees are typically based on the number of pages and the type of document being recorded. In most cases, the buyer or receiving party pays these fees as part of closing costs. While fees may seem minor, they are part of the formal process that finalizes the recording. Step 6. Issuance of recorded copies. After recording, certified copies of the deed can be issued. These copies serve as official proof of ownership and are often required for future transactions such as selling, refinancing, or resolving disputes. Why recording matters. The power of public notice. Recording transforms a private agreement into a public fact. Once recorded, the deed provides actual notice to the world that ownership has changed. Anyone, from buyers to lenders to attorneys, can verify ownership through public records. This transparency is one of the strongest protections against fraud, but it is also what fraudsters rely on. If a fraudulent deed is recorded, it gains the appearance of legitimacy. Protection against future claims. A recorded deed provides legal proof of ownership and protects against future disputes. If someone later challenges ownership, the recorded deed becomes key evidence in court. Real-world example. If two parties claim ownership of the same property, the recorded deed, with its date and recording number, helps establish who has the stronger legal claim. Establishing priority, first in time, first in right. In real estate law, timing matters. The principle of first in time, first in right means the first recorded deed typically has priority over later claims. Example: If one buyer records their deed on March 1st and another records on March 10th, the March 1 recording generally takes precedence. This is why fraudsters act quickly. They attempt to record before anyone notices the issue. Future transactions depend on recording. Every future transaction relies on recorded ownership. When a property is sold, refinanced, or used as collateral, lenders and buyers rely on the recorded deed to confirm ownership. Without proper recording, transactions can stall, or worse, proceed under false assumptions. Connecting recording to deed fraud. Now the full picture is coming together. Fraud does not end when a fake deed is created. It becomes dangerous when that deed is recorded. Fraudulent documents, plus recording, false ownership plus public record, real-world consequences, financial loss, legal battles, and liability. This is why understanding the recording process is critical. Online discussion. Question 1. Why is the county recorder's office not a safeguard against fraud? Answer. Because the recorder verifies document completeness, not the truth or legitimacy of the transaction. Question 2. What is the most critical moment in a deed fraud scheme? Answer. When the fraudulent deed is officially recorded, creating the appearance of legal ownership. Question 3. Why is timing important in recording deeds? Answer. Because the first recorded deed typically has legal priority over later claims.